Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Tested, and this time we will talk about how to create an invoice in GnuCash. The idea for this video actually came from Ruud from the Netherlands. Ruud, thanks for your suggestion. This video is for you and also for you other people watching. So another suggestion from Bone 1984, one of my German subscribers, was to add a table of contents with timestamps in the description of my videos, so you can jump just to the section of the video that you're interested in. And I will do that. To do that, I'm going to tell you now what will be treated in this episode, and you can jump right to the link in the description if you like to, or you can watch the whole video, of course, if you choose. So first we will go through the preparation for creating an invoice in GnuCash. Then we will create a customer, create a tax table if you want to book your taxes separately from your let's say from a sale. How you can create terms. Then we will create the invoice, which you will be interested in if you are watching this video, I think. Then we will post the invoice. That's like, like if you have finished the invoice, you want to post it so it gets booked on your accounts. And finally, we will pay the invoice. And well, we won't pay it, but we will mark it as paid. So if you send an invoice to your customer, he will pay it and we will mark it as paid in our accounting program. Okay, so that's the plan for this video. I hope you enjoyed. And before we start with the preparation, I want to talk about the terms invoice and bill, because according to what I read, invoice and bill in English can be used interchangeably. If you don't think so, I'm not an English speaker, as you might hear. If you don't think so, please leave a comment. I'd be really interested in it. So what I read, you can use it interchangeably. We won't do that, and GnuCash also doesn't. GnuCash says, let's just go into business customer. GnuCash says if you for example, you have a business and you sell something, then you're creating an invoice and you're sending the invoice to your customer. So invoices in GnuCash is a part where you get paid. Now in GnuCash there are also bills, and maybe another video will be about bills if you like to. Also just leave comments below. A bill is if you have to pay someone. So we will stick with this terminology because GnuCash uses it, and yeah. Okay, let's hop right into it. Now, before we create our invoice and create a customer, we have to prepare our account hierarchy. So what we need is one account which is called accounts receivable. And that's where the money we will get but haven't currently gotten from our customer, where that money will booked in, and that's our invoice. So we go to our assets account and we select, we do a right click and say new account. And because accounts receivable is an asset, we have to put it in there. And why is it an asset? Because it's money you will get, although you haven't gotten it, but you will get it, so it counts as an asset. And GnuCash has an account type, accounts receivable. It also has an accounts payable, so I think that's the one where you have to pay but haven't paid yet. Yeah, so you have to pay your vendors. Okay, we select accounts receivable, it goes into assets, and we name that also accounts receivable. So that's where our invoice will go. Use commodity value should be okay, but we can use 2 digits. Select OK, and now we have our accounts receivable. And second thing we will need is a sales account, and sale is an income. So we go to income, right click new account, and it's already selected, so we call this one sales. You could of course make a deeper hierarchy, like if you're selling books and electronics and stuff, you can of course make your sales account a placeholder and make sub accounts for books and other stuff you're selling. But for now, for us, sales account would or will do. Okay, we say okay, sales, that's our income. And what we will also use, but what's already there, is a taxes account and different kinds of taxes. We just use a federal tax for this example. And taxes account is in expenses. You see it here, because that's what you have to pay. Okay, now we have set up our accounts hierarchy, and we will hop into creating a customer. Why do we have to create a customer? We have to create one because if we want to create an invoice, well, we have to have a customer we can send the invoice to. So we go to business, and you're seeing now we're getting a bit into the advanced features of GnuCash and the more business-like features. And yeah, I'm also very excited because that's the first time I looked into creating an invoice. Thanks again, Ruth. Very good idea. And yeah, we go to business, customer, and let's just, for the sake of it, say we want to create a new invoice right away without having a customer. Now that's the new invoice dialog, and we select invoice. You also could make a credit note. Our invoice ID. You see the tooltip says, if left blank, a reasonable number will be chosen for you. So I don't know what happens if you do that. That's why we will just call this 216, and this is the English keyboard layout, and I'm not used to it. Where is the underscore? Maybe here? Yeah, we got it. And let's say that's the first one. Open is today. Now we need to fill in our customer. We go to select, and maybe we have a customer created here because I created one right before I made this video. So you can add search criteria here and say search by company name, billing contact, customer ID, and so forth. Contains, and you put a string here, match case. If you do that, it will be, the search will be case sensitive. You can also match regex, and what regex is, it's a more like IT term. It means regular expression, and it's a special kind of search term. But as regex usually is quite, it's not so easy to understand if you just want to enter text. If you want to, I can make a video on regex solely, but yeah, it's too complicated, I think. So you just choose contains and enter your text here, and you can find your customer. If you remove the search criteria, it says match all entries, and that's what we will do. We click on find, and now we find the customer that I created. Now the problem here is deleting a customer is not really possible in GnuCash, and it's also not possible to delete an invoice you created. So I also read in about this in GnuCash wikis and FAQs, and they always said you can just change edit your customer or change your invoice. So you can't really delete it. It's not meant to be. Okay. But we will create a new customer so you know how it's done. Select new customer. That's our customer 2 now. Company name is second customers limited. It's active. The name is second one and address is the second street in second town. I don't know. You just put all the customer information here. You can enter billing information, and what you have here is terms, and that's saying what are your paying terms. And I created an entry here that says normal terms. For me, that's just, I think, 30 days of payment time, so to speak. You can give a discount or a credit limit to your customer. Tax included, is it or is it not? If not, you can also add a tax table, and I created one for books here because in Germany I think books are about 7%, I don't know. Normal tax are 19, and I think 7 is for books. I'm not quite sure though. So how do you create a terms or tax table entry? You go to business and you see here sales tax table. Click on it and you can add a tax table here. Now I created a tax table for books, and it also tells you where the taxes will be booked. So in my case, this would be expenses, taxes, federal. What I showed you here. If you look at the accounts hierarchy, you have taxes, federal, and that's under expenses. So GnuCash will automatically book your taxes in your tax account, which is quite cool, I think. You can add a new entry here, select the name, percentage or value. You can set like the German normal tax is 19%, and you can say where this should be booked. And we could again put this into taxes and federal, select OK. We must provide a name. You can call this normal tax. Okay, now you have a normal tax here. Okay, that's how you create a tax entry, and you can of course have multiple of these and select it here. We have the books, which I created before this video, and our normal tax here. Okay, the terms, it's almost the same. You go to business, go to billing terms editor. Now this dialog opens, and I created this normal terms entry already. That's for standard customers, due days 30. What's also cool is you can say, if my customer pays within 5 days, he gets a discount of 3%. So yeah, you can also enter that here. And the procedure of creating a new one is the same one as with a tax entry. Type days or Proximo. Actually, I don't know what Proximo is, but yeah, days would also do. Okay, can add an entry here, billing term, and then you can select the terms here when creating a new customer. That's where we are right now. Okay, so our customer doesn't get a discount, and he also has no credit limit with us. So you can type in a shipping address here if it's another one, another than the billing address, different from it. We will just take name and street from here. And this is of course second town, very good town. Press OK, and now we have our second customer. Now that's the first step to creating an invoice. Then you go to select, because we want to select this customer. You can again change your customer if you select it and press the View Edit Customer button. Then the Edit Customer dialog opens. Okay, you select this one and click on Select. And now in our invoice, we have our second customers. Now, in the billing information, you can enter a job. And to do that, you get almost the exact same window as you have with a customer. You can search for a job, you can search for all jobs, and if there's none, you can create a new job and say job number is 1 and job name is what's the job name? Sending books, I don't know, something you can put there. Billing ID is 1, and you can select your job like that. Okay, now we have our job. We're sending books to our customer, or selling books would be more accurate, under the normal terms, and then we press OK. Now we've created our invoice, but that's not booked already. We have to first fill it in. Now we can say here we sell, let's say we sell Crate books, because we're a Crate vendor of books. Now in the action column you can enter what type of service it was, like were you paid by hours or material or project. We can say like books is more like material maybe. Then you give your income account, and in our case that's our income sales account that we created before creating the customer and the invoice. Now quantity, let's say that was 5, and unit price was like $9.99, and there's no discount. So now, because we selected our normal tax, GnuCash already separated our total and the tax. So we have a subtotal of $49.95, but the tax is also already it's already calculated for us. So that's $9.50 approximately. Okay, now that's the first step. Now what we want to do is GnuCash saved automatically apparently. So now what we want to do is post our invoice, and the tooltip says what it does, it posts our invoice to our accounts. So that means after posting, your invoice will show in your accounts. And let's do that and then hop into our accounts and see what happened. Click on post, and entry has been changed. Would you like to save it? Yes, we will. And now you see what happened here is this column says invoiced, and it got an X, because now what we did is invoiced it or posted it. So we do it here. Post date is today, description first invoice posting, I don't know, just type in whatever you like. And now GnuCash asks us to which account we want to post it to, and that's why we created our accounts receivable account. And GnuCash already selected it from our account hierarchy, because it's the only one of type accounts receivable, and GnuCash needs an account of type accounts receivable to book the invoice to. You could also create a new one here, and where accounts receivable is already selected, but that's what we did at the beginning, so we don't need to. Accumulate splits, yes, we will check that, and I show you what that does right after this one. So press OK. Now that's what I talked about a second ago. GnuCash says, okay, was it invoiced? Yes, it was. It gets an X. And now let's see in our accounts what happened. Now we have our accounts receivable. That's like the money we will get from our customers but haven't gotten already. So that's our 59.44. And why is it 59? Because we said it was five books, each $9.99, which is about 50 euro. But then we have our tax, and GnuCash adds the tax on top of it. And why is that? Because our customer has to pay $59, not euro, dollars. It is here. So our customers pays 59 and we pay 9.50 in tax, and 50, that's our revenue. Okay, here it says split transaction, and that's actually a cool part of it. Select the entry here, go to view and transaction journal, yeah. And that's what GnuCash did when we selected accumulate splitting or something like that. So now we have, that's our booking total, and 9.49 went into expenses, taxes, federal, and 49.95 into income, sales. That's our revenue, that's a tax we have to pay. So GnuCash split our invoice into two different accounts, which is quite cool. Okay, now we are at 59 balance, and what we want to have here is we want to have a balanced accounts receivable, because if it's not balanced, that means that some customer hasn't paid their bills yet, and of course we want them to pay us. Okay, let's go to accounts and select. Here in federal taxes, you see now we have here 9.49, that's the tax we have to pay. And in income sales, we have an income of $50, because that's the second split booking from our invoice, or split transaction. Okay, now we posted the invoice. Now let's say about 10 days later, our customer pays the bill, pays our invoice, and if he does that, we can also do that here, and we are at our invoice, see here. If you close this window, let's do that just to show you. You can get back to it via business, customer, find invoice, because it's already created, remove, match all entries, find, and we have all our invoices here. And here you see that I created some beforehand, but GnuCash doesn't let you delete them. You have to edit them. You can, however, set them to inactive. Here, if active is not checked, your invoice is inactive, but you can't delete, you can just change it. Okay, now we select the invoice we just created, and it's that one, I think. Here you see the posted date, and those two I haven't posted, or I have them unposted. You can also do that if you want to. If you see you have made a mistake, you can unpost your invoice, and that will remove the bookings from your sales, from your taxes, and from your accounts receivable account. Okay, go to select your invoice, and we go to view edit invoice, and now we have the window of our invoice again here. What we wanted to do is pay our invoice, so we click pay invoice, and where do we post it to? We post it to accounts receivable because we want our invoices to be paid by our customers. We select the customer, that's our second customer is limited. Our invoice, that's already here. Debit is 59.44, and what did he pay us? Hopefully he paid us a whole all the money we get from him, from our customer. So we enter 59.44 here, And now we have to enter the transfer account, and that's the account where our customer sent the money to. And most likely that's some kind of checking account. Maybe you have a business checking account or something like that. So we select a checking account and select OK. And now our invoice is paid. So what does that mean? That means now we have, if we go to our accounts receivable, we have a balanced accounts receivable. So you see the first invoice entry here is a payment, is an invoice, and the second one is a payment. That's when our customer paid the bill and we are happy. Okay, so we created a customer, created an invoice, what we want to do, and most likely you will do that before your customer pays the invoice. I messed up with that. You want to print an invoice because you want to send it to your customer so he can pay you. Okay, we will do that now. Click on print invoice, and now you see here GnuCash creates like some standard invoice. I will do another video on how you can customize your invoice because yeah, I have to admit that one doesn't look that good. And Ruth, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but the video is already getting too long. So this video is solely about creating an invoice, and the next video will be about how you can customize your invoice so it looks a bit nicer. Okay, so GnuCash creates the invoice for you. You have the date, you have the description, sell great books, charge type was material, 5 of 9.99, and the amount due is $59.44. That's what your customer has to pay you, and which he already did in an example because I messed up on creating the invoice. So you can export that one as PDF and save it on your desktop if you like to. Click save, and let's see, GnuCash just created our invoice PDF, which looks, yeah, a bit nicer than in GnuCash because it's not that wide, but still not that good. So in the next video we will customize our invoice so you can actually send it to your customer. Okay, I think that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, leave me a like, of course subscribe to my channel, and yeah, as I said, if you have any suggestions for other videos or you want to see something special, just leave me a comment below and I will be happy to answer you. And Ruth, I hope you're satisfied with what I gave you here. As I said, next video will be about customizing invoices, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.